Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a yoga sequence for you focusing on supporting period cramps, period pain, aches, sore muscles, tightness, and just letting go of all of the pain that's associated with that monthly friend. So grab your mat, grab some water, and join me in relieving some pain with some gentle yoga movements. Starting out, laying on the mat, drawing those knees in towards the chest, interlacing the fingers around the outer shins or under the thighs, just doing some hip circles here, right to left. Finding our breath as we create maybe bigger circles, maybe smaller circles, whatever feels best, reversing the direction here. Just breathing every movement. Keeping the right knee drawn in towards the chest, extending the left leg long. Just thinking about drawing that knee closer towards the chest on every exhale, softening and drawing it a little closer. Just breathing here, finding some wiggles, maybe opening it up further towards that right shoulder if there's any pinching at all. Just creating some space into the hip flexor. Releasing that right leg to meet the left, draw the left knee in towards the chest. Interlace those fingers around the shin or under the thigh or the back of the thigh. Just finding some circles, some wiggles, drawing more towards that left shoulder. Just finding space. Drawing both knees into the chest, drawing that nose towards the knees, getting a nice stretch into the back of the neck. Finding some more wiggles side to side, rolling out that back. Now just starting to find some rocking motion with the hips, through the shoulders. Just rocking your way up towards a seat. Take as many rocks as you need, avoiding this pose if you have any spinal issues, injuries, herniated discs, anything like that. Placing the soles of the feet onto the mat. Placing the hands behind the backside of the thighs, just holding onto the thighs. Going through some cat-cow. We're going to inhale, lift that chest. Exhale to round out through the spine. Tucking the chin towards the chest. Inhale to open, spreading through the collarbones. Exhale, round back through. Inhale, chest, collarbones, gazing up to the sky maybe. Exhale to round. Inhale. Exhale, moving with the breath, coming back to neutral and hugging over those knees, just giving yourself a nice hug, stretching out the shoulders, the spine, giving yourself some love. Finding your ways to an all fours position, stacking those shoulders over wrists, hips over the knees. Coming through a few rounds of cat-cow here. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, spread through the collarbones. Exhale to round, pressing up the spine towards the sky. Let the head fall. Inhale, belly falls, gaze comes up. And exhale to round through, hollowing out the belly. Just moving on every breath. Maybe closing the eyes, feeling every vertebrae move as you round through the spine, and as you inhale, dropping the spine. Staying here in a rounded position, just doing some wiggles, feels really good in the hips, just to help stretch out, loosen out any low back pain from cramps. And inhaling to drop that belly, finding wiggles in this variation as well. Bringing the knees forward, coming onto our seat. We're going to create a fist with our hand, wrapping the other hand around the fist. Placing those hands just gently above the pelvic bone into the area where you find the cramping occurs. And then inhaling as you fold forward over those hands. You can use a block here under the head if that feels good to support the head if it's not quite reaching the floor. This is a really great pressure to apply to the abdomen to help support period cramps and help lessen the intensity. Maybe just coming back up and just tipping towards the floor. You don't have to round all the way through. Just finding different variations, different pressures, maybe moving the hands more right or more left, just to find some release. Shake out those hands. Walking our seat back, coming down into a child's pose, knees together, arms reaching out in front. And you can option for a block here if your head's not quite touching. Maybe keeping the arms out in front or allowing the arms to fall back at your sides, rounding over those knees. Feeling that nice pressure into the abdomen, opening up through the low back. Cramping can be quite intense in these areas, so this is a great pose to just release everything, creating some compression through the abdomen. Big deep breath, letting it go. Breathing. Finding our hands forward, coming up into a tabletop position again. Just rocking that heart forward. Exhale back. Inhale, rock that heart forward. Exhale, rock back. And inhale, rocking forward, bending through the elbows, dropping through chaturanga. Dropping those hips first, then lifting through the chest just gently as you press through the hands. Inhaling to scooch closer towards the front of the mat. So we're just starting to shimmy our way across the mat, keeping that chest shining forward. Gaze towards the mat. Option to lift and hover the arms here, making sure that you're actually engaging through the mid-back, through the thoracic spine. Press those hands down and let the head fall towards the mat. Release those arms at your sides, letting the shoulders round, maybe bringing your right ear towards the mat. Getting a nice stretch and release. Breathing. Softening. Bring the head back up. Place those hands at your sides. Pressing up through your baby cobra. Lifting from the back. Shining those collarbones, broadening them. Gazing towards that floor or just in front of your mat. Thinking about sliding forward on the mat, so we're drawing up from the low back and mid back. Option to extend the arms here into airplane arms, reaching them down at your sides. Still thinking about lifting and lengthening instead of trying to get as far and as deep in the pose. Place those palms back down, release the forehead to the mat. Let those arms fall at your sides and bringing the opposite ear to the mat. Just breathing, finding your breath. Coming back to center, place those hands at your sides. We're going to bend up through the left leg, just flexing it, getting some flexion through the foot, rocking back and forth. An option to reach for your pant leg, for the outer edge of the foot, the ankle. Just reaching back, creating a little bit of opening through the chest. And beautiful back bend for the low back. Helps to strengthen the low back, helps to find release through the chest. Inhale to draw the chest a little higher maybe. Breathing here. This beautiful shoulder opener. Releasing the arms back down, releasing the head back down, forehead to touch the mat. And lifting up through the legs, swaying them side to side in a windshield wiper motion. Just releasing the low back. This is a beautiful low back stretch. And release. Oh, it feels wonderful. Release those feet back down. Pressing up into a baby cobra, and we'll bend through the right foot, reaching for that ankle, maybe the pants, the outer edge of the foot, wherever you can reach. You can always option to use a strap here as well. Lifting through that chest, pressing through that left hand to lift up. So we're not pulling and straining on that knee, we're just finding some lift, finding some openness through that shoulder, stretching through the quadricep. Release that grip, bring the hand back down, forehead to mat. Let's windshield wiper those legs one more time, swing them from right to left. Just releasing any tension in the low back, any tightness. Breathing. Release those feet back down. Sliding the forearms up, placing the palms on the mat, and we're just going to lift the chest into Sphinx pose. Broadening through those collarbones. Gazing forward. Finding a nice opening through the front body. Nice stretch in through the pectorals. Also great back bend here to just create space in the spine. Sphinx pose is considered a belly down back bend, so creating any compression onto the abdomen is really great for period cramps. Helps to alleviate and let that pain subside a little bit. Pressing through the hands, coming back to our tabletop, doing a couple wiggles side to side, just recentering the spine. After being in those back bends, good to just neutralize by doing some twists and wiggles. Bring those knees wide. Let's sit back between those knees. Allow the chest to fall between the thighs. Head towards the mat. Hands are reaching out long in front. If your head doesn't reach here, you can always option to use a block to support the forehead or crossing over the forearms and letting the forearms be your pillow on that forehead. Just thinking about touching the forehead to something helps to bring down the parasympathetic nervous system. So great for relaxing, letting everything calm, any anxiety, tension, stress, just letting all of that go, letting it fade away. Breathing it out. Knowing that you're exactly where you're meant to be right now. The only place that matters is on the mat. Starting to walk your way back up. Bring those knees together, back to our tabletop. So coming onto a seat. So we're stacking those calves underneath the thighs. So our knees are stacked directly over top of the calf. Starting to walk our hands back into hero's pose. Maybe just staying here. Maybe starting to walk down onto forearms. Just coming into a nice stretch through the thighs. Beautiful way to stretch out through the front body. Making sure that our knees are not feeling any pressure or tension here. Moving away from pain. So if this creates any pull or pain in the knee, keeping your hands placed on the mat and just staying in a more upright position. It's going to be quite intense, this back bend. So just finding where you are, keeping that chin towards the chest so we're not flopping the head back. Starting to walk yourself back up. Walk those knees together. Finding our way to a seat, keeping the left leg long, crossing over the right leg. Inhale as we lift that left arm and reach it behind our seat, placing the palm onto the mat, and just gently holding onto the knee with your right arm. Twisting away from that knee, so open twist here. Coming back to center, wrapping that left arm around the knee, now twisting towards that knee, bringing the right arm behind you. So we're inhaling as we grow that spine nice and tall, and exhaling to twist from the belly first, then the ribs, then the chest. Maybe gazing over that right pectoral. Twists are absolutely beautiful for wringing out the belly, detoxification, amazing for period cramps. This is one of my favorite things to do when I'm feeling really crampy. Just creating that compression and that massage into the organs is so beautiful. Come back to center, uncross that leg, do a little shake, crossing over that left leg, holding onto it with the left arm and bringing that right arm behind you, placing the palm down, coming to that open face twist, just opening away from that front thigh. Again, we're just twisting belly, ribs, and then chest, finding some space, some massage through the ribs. Come back to center, wrap that right arm around that thigh, twisting towards that thigh now. Placing that left hand behind, feeling that nice compression towards that front thigh. Again, beautiful stretch for cramps, for low back pain. Just helps to really wring everything out. It's one of my most absolute favorite places to be. Closing the eyes, maybe breathing from the belly, ribs, and chest. Softening the breath, allowing it to be your guide. Untwisting here, releasing that top leg back down. Finding your way to bring the soles of the feet together, coming into Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. So creating as much space as you need between the legs so they don't have to be super close towards you. Inhale as we tip that chest forward, keeping the back nice and tall. Inhaling through the crown of the head. And exhale as we tip a little further. Starting to round through the spine here. So letting go of that straight back and just letting your body round forward. Find some space in the neck, through the low back. Another beautiful pose to just to let go and release, let that head fall. Starting to walk your way back up, bringing those knees together, and let's recline down into a recline pose. Soles of the feet onto the mat, bending at the knees. We're gonna lift those hips towards the left side of the mat. Bring the arms out to a T and rolling those legs over into a reclined spinal twist. So we're twisting the knees towards the right, keeping those arms out in a nice wide T, palms facing up. You can gaze over that left pectoral if that feels okay on the neck. It's getting an awesome twist through the torso, through the low back, the hips. Inhaling, exhale back to center with the gaze. Just breathing. Engage that core. Inhale, lift those knees up, soles of the feet to the mat. Walk those hips over to the other side, so walking them more towards the right. Letting those legs fall towards the left. Keeping a nice flat back. So if you were to run your hand down that spine, you'd have a nice flat back. Gazing over that right pectoral, closing the eyes. Inhaling exactly where you are. And exhaling. Inhaling back to center, engaging that core. Placing the soles of the feet onto the mat. Hug those knees in towards the chest. Bring the nose to knees. Walk out that neck. Give yourself some rock side to side. Feels awesome. Releasing the body now down into your corpse pose, Shavasana. Letting everything go, letting all the hard work fall away. Feeling an amazing release into the low back, the hips, the belly. Just finding your natural breath here, not trying to rush it or change it. Just feeling complete. relaxation. Appreciating yourself for coming to the mat when you're in pain and discomfort. Bring those knees back up when you're ready. Draw them into the chest for a final hug. Rolling onto your left side here and pressing up to a seat whenever you're ready. Take your time. Finding a comfortable seat here. Inhale, sweep the arms up high to sky. Exhale those palms through heart center, pressing the thumbs gently into the breastbone, bowing your head forward towards those hands. Just connecting here. Thank you so much for joining me here in today's practice. From my heart to yours, namaste. Be sure to like this video and subscribe down below and share any comments that you may have. Love you guys so much. Bye.
Nothing seems the same. Always on the go now. Never seem to